So Shrek 2 is amazing. This is something we all know. It goes without me saying that Shrek 2 is a masterpiece. But the Shrek 2 DVD experience was something else entirely. People used to put a ton of effort into making DVD experiences just phenomenal, and I miss that. I don't really own or watch a lot of DVDs nowadays because I've got nothing to play them on, but that's it. If they were better, I'd probably watch them. That's what I'm saying. It's not my fault. On the Shrek 2 DVD, there was a special feature called Far, Far Away Idol, which was a very obvious parody of The X Factor. Now, I'm going to talk about the big important thing up top that everyone wants to know and why people clicked on this. I'm not an asshole, and I'm fully aware why people are here. After extensive research, I can confirm that the winner of Far, Far Away Idol, this majestic event, was Doris, the ugly stepsister, voiced by Larry King. And that's an interesting fact. She won, so you know, good on her. You can now leave this video. I've given you the information you want, and so you know, you can go. As you can see though, if you look down, the video is quite a bit longer. So maybe stick around for that, because I might say some more interesting things. Now, before I see someone replicating this Yahoo Answers comment, I just want to make clear, this is the official online voting system. At the end of the featurette, the magic mirror says this.
En nu mag jij je stem uitbrengen. Kies je favoriet. Kies je favoriet. Je mag stemmen. Het is nu of nooit.
This is the official in-canon winner, not whoever you decided to pick when playing solo mode on your DVD, because as we all know, if you picked outside of the four main protagonists, Simon would disagree with your vote and declare himself the winner. Which kind of makes sense considering two of the other judges in this contest also participated. Also, this whole thing takes place in a 16th century monarchy, which is interesting. It's kind of interesting that people know that voting exists, but they live in a dictatorship. I don't want to get political, I just feel like Shrek, the protagonist, maybe seems a bit, I don't know, uncaring at the lack of democracy. Kind of changes the way we see that character. How do we know that Doris won? That's probably a question on your mind. How do we know this? Well, for ages, the only evidence I could find was on the Shrek 2 fandom page, where it said she was the winner. But I couldn't really find any other evidence to back that up, any proof from an official source. You know, I was doing so much research, so much investigating. I hopped on the Wayback Machine and went to the now obsolete Shrek 2 website, and even though I could find information about the competition and all the contestants and everything, I couldn't find anything that declared Doris the winner. I was ready to give up when I was scrolling through Google Images and came across a screenshot of the featurette. I followed that to a critic's website where this dude is just bashing Shrek 2 because he doesn't like it. I don't know why, but he links to the one official release from Dreamworks that declares Doris as the winner. So thank you, dude who doesn't like Shrek 2. You helped us with this one. Good job. Now, thanks to the exact same guy, I was able to find out all the details about this competition, and oh boy, this was so much more than just a silly little special feature on a DVD. This was, I'm gonna say it, it's big brain time. This was, someone got promoted out of this. It's pretty smart. Shrek 2 was released on DVD and VHS on November 5th, 2004, and the voting for Far, Far Away Idol ended on November 8th, 2004, giving people 3 days to participate. The movie's release was heavily marketed as having this new special, ultra secret, wow, incredible new ending.
These have the same great taste you love with Ogre Green Creamy Filling. Wow! In celebration of Shrek 2, available now on video and DVD.
Shrek 2's on DVD!
Get Shrek 2 on DVD at Kmart now.
All right!
With an all-new surprise ending just for DVD and video.
The party starts here at Walmart Friday, November the 5th. Shrek 2 is on DVD with an all-new surprise ending.
Shrek 2 is now available on DVD and video.
Bon appetit! Oh, Mexican food!
It's loaded with fun.
Oh, that is nasty!
And now it's far, far funnier.
Oh no! goes! Quattro, hit it!
Because Shrek 2 has an all-new surprise ending made just for the video and DVD.
Now, when people went out and bought it, they found out that the secret ending was in fact Far Far Away Idol, and they began voting. Voting could be done online or through text message, but all the information about how to participate was stored on the VHS and DVDs. It's really kind of smart, okay? How smart? Three-quarter of a million votes. That's how smart. You know, so it's pretty smart, you know, and obviously it worked because, you know, we're still talking about it today, and it benefited them financially because they sold a lot of DVDs, I guess, and it, you know, helped Doris because she won, so that's good. Unfortunately, the level of care and consideration that went into the marketing of this competition wasn't carried over into the creative department on how this whole event would affect the Shrek universe. The existence of Far Far Away Idol fucks up the continuity to such a degree it's troublesome. It's actually concerning how much it fucks it up. So where does it fit in the timeline? Where does this take place in the Shrek timeline? That's just a little bit tricky. When Far Far Away Idol opens, we see Donkey and Puss in Boots drunkenly, happily still singing on stage, still having a good time. But Shrek 2 properly ends with a post-credit scene where Donkey is sadly singing on his own. Then Puss approaches him and suggests that they have sex with two human women. Donkey's waifu appears. He's a loyal ass. He's not messing around. Also now he discovers he's a dad. Ahora, which one of these two events takes place first? It would follow that we'd have sad Donkey followed by happy Donkey. That would make sense, you know. He's sad, then he gets waifu, he becomes dad, and now he's happily singing. You know, it's a celebration. I mean, it does mean that Puss in Boots would go off, have the spicy time with these two human women, and then, you know, return to do some singing. This whole thing adds up. It would make sense. What we would see is a sad Donkey, and then we have Shrek and Fiona dancing still, but at the beginning of Far Far Away Idol, happy Puss and Donkey are there, and Shrek and Fiona walk up to them. They walk up to talk to them. That would make sense. Well, that's not the way it happens. According to the official Shrek 2 fandom page, Far Far Away Idol takes place before the post-credit scene, which makes no sense. Donkey's performance in the competition ends when his tail catches on fire. Who lights his tail on fire? His wife. His wife who he hasn't seen yet. And if his wife is here, where are the kids? Where does she disappear after and then come back? Did they have an argument? This also means that Puss in Boots knew that Donkey was in a fully committed relationship and still tempted him. Not cool, Puss. I used to respect you. You were an icon. You were an icon, and now I just don't know what to think. Disrespect. I'm kind of broken. There's also the issue about Captain Hook and Prince Charming being contestants in this, willing participants in this competition, even though in Shrek 3 they're both villains. How do they go from being good boys to villains who murder people? How does that happen? Also, Doris isn't a villain in either of these movies. Just want to make that clear. In Shrek 2, she just works at the pub. That's all she does. You know, a job's a job. We all have to put food on the table. Then in Shrek the Third, she's just inexplicably chilling with the princesses. 'Cause reasons, I guess. So I feel like we deserve an explanation. You know, at least a short novel that takes place between Shrek 2 and Shrek the Third explaining how these character arcs happened. How characters went from this
And I shake my little toe.
to this.
Be back where you started, scrubbing floors or locked away in towers. That is, if I let you last the week.
I need to know how this happened. I figured I couldn't be the only person searching for answers, searching for explanations, so I did a little bit more research and looked into, you know, other people's interpretations of Shrek. These took the forms of fan fiction. It got very smutty very quickly, and I deeply regret looking for answers to my questions on the same sites where people write self-insert erotica fiction. Yikes. I do, however, have a few suggestions of my own on how to repair the broken Shrek lore. Some things are easier to explain than others, okay? It's taken a bit of creative thinking to kind of make this whole universe work again. It's fairly easy to repair the character damage done to Doris and Captain Hook and Prince Charming. We're going to start with him. At the beginning of Shrek 3, we see that he has become a pub performer. He does gigs in local drinking establishments. So, what if his backup plan to becoming king of Far Far Away was always to do with music and dance? We know even when he becomes king that he's fascinated and intrigued by the world of musicals and singing. So what if losing Far Far Away Idol was the straw that broke the camel's back and turned them from just pissy little soft boy to hardcore villain? For Captain Hook, it's fairly easy explanation. He is, after all, a pirate captain of a flying ship. He's probably a nihilist. I don't think his values of morality and right and wrong kind of align with society's standards. Yeah, you know, he's a pirate, he doesn't believe in right and wrong, but you know, he's up to a good jig whenever. He was never a good guy. He was never a bad guy. He just is. Doris' transformation from a poor bartender to best pals with the princess of the kingdom comes down to two factors. I've had two factors. Firstly, they're bros. You know, they seem to get along. They seem to have a camaraderie between them. Neither of them are conventionally attractive. You know, they're not the norm for Far Far Away. So, you know. Secondly, she's the winner of Far Far Away Idol. You know, I'm sure that gave her enough money to quit her job and enough clout to social climb her way to the top of the Far Far Away hierarchy. Let's not forget this is a land of luxury and vanity that is a very, very thinly veiled parody of Hollywood. So I imagine clout is a lot better than money, and also getting along with the princess probably helps a lot, you know, I guess. How to fix the whole timeline discrepancy thing where things don't kind of align all the way? Rumpelstiltskin, you know, the same thing he did in Shrek Forever After. Magic contracts, they fuck up the timeline. They fuck it up, dude. Not quite as fucked up as friends making other friends try and cheat on their partners. Puss, still upset at you. You're not sliding away from this. You're an icon. Now you're nothing. Also, the director of this short is also the director of the B movie.